Hello, hello, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining on time, even before. We are starting in a couple of minutes. And we already have 50 people. Wow, 50 participants online. It's amazing. Okay, looking forward to this journey with you for the next few months. Hopefully on a weekly basis, every Monday, same time. 4 p.m. in Israel and Greece, 3 p.m. It's Central European time zone. And you guys figured out your time zones. We received a lot of emails from different places in the world where some registered participants are trying to figure out when do we connect actually. So thank you for joining. We have people from Ukraine, from Greece, from Israel, from Kenya, already here with us. Thank you. I'm pretty sure there are more countries represented. Take your time with your name and chat. It's also a great time for networking, I guess, right? So 1 minute and we begin. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. My AI music is over, so I can restart, or we'll just enjoy the silence a little bit. Yeah, you heard a little bit of echo. Maybe it's because of the sound and the way I shared my screen, but the numbers are rising. Okay, we're 4 p.m. Greetings from Brazil. Good morning in Brazil. Thank you for joining us. Hello, hello. We have Italy. Thank you. Hello, hello. Very international audience, and hopefully a hub and a community of teachers, educators. These series of professional development trainings are going to be for educators. So this is not for administrative staff. We have something for administrative staff also in preparation. This is mostly for teachers, educators, mostly in higher education. I believe all of you or most of you are from higher education. We might have some also teachers from K-12 maybe. All educators are welcome. All educators are welcome. And I guess this is time for me to officially again say welcome everyone. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining on time.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. Excellent. So it's wonderful to see all of you. We hope we finally opened this event this semester, and we hope that we will see you every week and welcome the same time every Monday. So thank you for joining us on time. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and introduce my colleague, Professor Kostas Petridis, our friend and colleague. Most of you already know Kostas. You received emails from him. He works really hard to try to support all of you, and we work together in tandem, building this course, building this professional development program. We will soon release our preliminary syllabus that is ready. Those of you who accessed Moodle already saw like the topics we outlined. It's going to be very diverse in terms of the tools we will discuss, but we will begin with some kind of foundational discussion of how we approach AI in education. So I'm going to move and give the floor to my colleague and friend, Professor Kostas Petridis. He's coordinating Impact. Impact stands for Inter-Mediterranean Peace and Collaboration. This is Erasmus Plus Virtual Exchange project. We are very, very proud to work on it for the third year already. It's our third and final year of activities. So this course is part of our hard work that we have been preparing for several months, and we are happy that all of you expressed your interest and joined us live. We will also have a lot of people who will follow asynchronously, but we do hope that you continue joining us every week so we can discuss, we can build this together, learn from each other. So welcome, Kostas. You can now, open and maybe introduce yourself, share your screen for those who don't know you, because not everyone knows you.
Yes, hello, good evening, good afternoon from Greece, from Hellenic Mediterranean University. I would like to welcome you in this, I will say, sharing opinion. It's not a course, it's like a lecture. We are going to state our opinions. Don't take it for granted that whatever we say is correct. I know that AI is a very debating topic. I have to say that this idea came from an initiative that my colleague, Professor Kondak Sachs, I can see here, he has initiated when, I think, April 2024, if I'm not doing mistake, Costas. It was an initiative from the academics in the HMU in order to share opinions about AI and how we can apply it. So since then, and due to other connections, I had it on my mind as a part of the extroversion and internationalization of Hellenic Mediterranean University, but also of the impact project. And I remember that I told Costas, this is a very nice idea. Let's continue it. I will continue it as an experiment in English in order to identify what kind of mistakes we have done. And I'm pretty sure that Costas, through our teaching staff within Hellenic Mediterranean University, we can continue. However, you are the most appropriate persons in order to discuss. All of us, we are academics. I'm not an expert of AI. I'm using AI, so probably I have the same questions as you. We are going to start this journey together. I will be responsible for some general ideas, some, I will say, trends on how to use AI, but this will be my opinion, and my opinion is not correct in the majority of the time. So you are free in order to challenge, to say your opinion, in order to create at the end of the day, let's say these are the different opinions, these are the different policies. So I will be responsible about the AI. I will say for the first 3 hours of this course. Today is an introduction. I will go to the Moodle. I will show you what kind of topics, the curricula of the course. If you have issues in order to join, the Moodle platform, please contact me, and I will try to resolve the issues and any challenges you have. And as I said, today we are going to introduce on how to work and think with AI. I have a Mentimeter also in order to state your opinions. And then next week, I will share with you some principles about teaching with AI, and then how to write with AI. And then I will provide the floor to my colleague, Elena Mizrahi, and to Samia Zaid in order to use some tools, specific tools per category as these tools appears within the Moodle. I'm very happy also I can see, colleagues, but also Luciana, that we have started an experiment together from Brazil. And let's start. So I will share my screen. I will go to the Moodle. I'm not following any plan, usually in my life. I'm using my life as it comes. And let me share my screen in order to go to the Moodle to check the curriculum and explain to you how are we going to share this information with you. So first of all, this is let me take out this. This is the Moodle platform of our course. So you can see over there the links, the syllabus. I think that I will do this.
No, I will make it available soon, Costas. Don't don't show it yet. I'm fixing it now. Yeah.
All right. So the first thing that I'm going to do is like teach with AI. So I will present you something. Whatever I'm going to present is going to be uploaded in this section with the videos. So to be able to check it. Of course, the link is going to be through our YouTube channel. Through 2 YouTube channels, I will place the YouTube channel of HMU, but also the YouTube channel of Impact. And then, we are going to populate together all these kind of sessions with training materials, with the presentations, in order to have a summary, how many tools and what kind of tendencies and what kind of approaches and what kind of opinions do they exist within this transformational technology. So if you don't have it here, I can see with the participants, we had 365 registrations. I place all of you in the Moodle platform, but however, I tried to make an auto registration for this particular course. They have registered 152. So if you don't have an access, please let me know in order to give you an access. And as my colleague has mentioned, this course can be delivered and can be followed synchronously and asynchronously. What we would like to do is like to create a community of practice and exchange opinions on what we are doing. So let me stop share. As I have told you, we have used to introduce ourselves in this teaching platform, in this ecosystem. This is very nice to have, to know who is following to us. Why are you following this? What is your expertise? However, I'm the less expert than all among you. So I'm daring to discuss, things that I'm still digesting. And as I said, I have very much inspired by what Kostas Kondaksakis has initiated in our university, and also following Elena Mizrahi's previous lectures through Impact Project about AI tools. So let me stop sharing my screen and try to share a different screen in order to start my presentation. So I'm very happy also that I can see a student of us, every Piotis that is with us. So let me share my screen, place it on full screen. I know I have an hour, probably, the first one. It will take a little bit more, but not much more. So welcome again, welcome. As Elena mentioned, I would like to say, people, this is like teaching with AI, and I like it very much what Marie Curie has mentioned, that nothing is in life is to be feared, it is only to be understood. So we agree or we disagree how to use AI, or what is like the appropriate ways to the AI, we need to understand how AI works. That's why I'm starting with these 3 first hours with some principles about AI, some terminology. I think that I can answer any question, but if I don't know, I will say you, I don't know, and then I will come back with bibliography or different kind of opinions in order to ask any questions. But what Marie Curie is mentioned, I hope that Miss Chiamu to stop to write on the screen, because I can see who is writing. So I don't want, to expel people from there. So let me stop sharing the screen in order to share it again, in order to not have, all right. So I think that, so let me share again. And Ms. Chiaro, I will appreciate if you don't write on the screen. Let's start. And this is the curiosity of any researcher. I mean, you need to understand how things they work in order to be able to have a position on how to work, or if you are going to work something. Before we start, I would like to tell you that this is, as I mentioned, beginning a discussion between colleagues. It's not a seminar, it's not a course, it's not a workshop, it's not a clinic. It's an opinion that when discussion that we would like to trigger through you in order to move together and shape some opinions. And whenever we are doing meetings, these are the different opinions, these are the different tendencies together with the tools that they exist. So to discuss and present AI tools, to have some initial literacy on how to use them and what is available. However, you can understand that it's impossible to follow all the AI tools as they are coming, because this is something that expands and introduce new tools in, I will say, exponential rate. More things you are going to find, and you are more than welcome during our discussion to say like, this is a nice tool, this is a nice tool, or I would like to learn more about this tool. Here we are as a colleagues all over the world in order to share opinions. So this is like, I'm starting, a short introduction. I will say that AI, I mean, the previous, I will say, industrial revolutions, they changed, a lot of things, but AI changed the way that we think. And how do we think, and how do we teach our students in order to use critically AI is something that is very much related with other activities of impact and other activities that we are doing in Hellenic Mediterranean University in Crete, in Greece, about critical skills development. And I will try, through these three first hours, to link them. And I think that as the web, the use of web, the use of online courses, and how do we use online courses. I remember the first time that this has been introduced by MIT courseware, we have a dial-up connection. No one believed that online teaching and online learning will have this revolutionized and this high impact to a higher education right now, because we are talking and we are discussing what is going to be the future of the higher education. As the technology advances, more people, they are going to adapt and use AI critically. This is, I think, in my opinion, a key word on how to use it. What is our vision? Is, within HMU and within the network that we would like as a colleagues to develop, is to try through these kind of activities, through other workshops that we're going to do, seminars and everything, it's like for, in my opinion, and this is I would like to try to keep, for free, in order, to integrate and help the development of faculty within my university, beyond my university, by communication and interaction with all of you. So we would like to just to aware and provide the information. These are the tendencies, these are the tools, these are the things that we need to take care and to prioritize in order to help the faculty to develop these digital and AI skills. Keep this on your mind that AI skills is something new, is a little bit different than the digital skills, and is very essential for our youth, our students, in order to be employable, and for us to be relevant and try to follow, what is happening around us. And if we are aware of what is happening, with agreements and disagreements, we will be able to train, which is our big obligation, our students in the right pathway. So this is one. The other one is like to offer, the support, in the revisions, for the faculty on how to use AI, in this case, how to use AI in order to enrich and update their curriculum, to save some time in order to do research or to do more critical discussion with the students. So AI is coming in order to be an extra labor. It's not the boss AI. The AI is the extra labor that we need to learn, or at least to agree how we are going to use it as our assistant. Also, as AI is introducing more deeper and deeper in the higher education, I think more research opportunities and more open questions, they will come. For example, what is the role of the virtual reality, augmented reality, in order to make AI and digital learning or blended learning, more interactive? How do we use AI in order to write more efficient, even in research or even in the education? How we can use AI in order to be more productive as an academics and be more competitive? These are, some questions that I don't know if they are innovative, but this is as they come to my mind right now. But I totally believe that AI, especially in the higher education, either policies or strategies on how to apply or training programs, opens or will open more pathways. And also, speaking for my university, I think that this is a great opportunity in order to organize this online seminar together with close colleagues and partners like Elena and Samia and others, in order to come to HMU, to have a brainstorming about your ideas in order to make the university better. To be honest, I would like to be frankly honest, I would like to do a brainstorming with all of you and learn each other. And I would like to welcome you and invite you in our International Week at the last week of May, that one of the topics will be AI literacy and AI data. This is something that we organize for 13 consecutive years in HMU. So you are more than welcome to come for this physical meeting in the beautiful island of Greece. And I know that I'm coming from Heraklion, but I live in Chania, the most beautiful city in Crete. So these are some, statements that they found out. I spoke about Marie Curie, but also these statements, reflect, in my opinion, what is AI, or at least, my perspective. So AI is an algorithm. It's not a human being. Only you can think. AI cannot. And going back about the probing engineering and the quality of the feedback, or how biased or not biased are the reflection of the AI, I will say that we control it. The more we know, the more our critical thinking, the higher the quality of the probing, the questions that we are doing, and how do we interact with the machine. All right. So I will say that this is a clear indication for me that we control the things and we can use the things as we want and as we judge. I can see that this is a tidal wave that you can be. It's like a surfer. You are with the wave or you stay back. In my opinion, this is the case. It's like before, how many years we are doing. I remember when I was in high school, I'm not going to say how old I am, but you can guess. If you have, some AI prediction tool, I could make calculations with hand. I had a piece of paper while I was doing multiplications on my mind. Now I cannot do this because of the calculators, because of a lot of technology that has been introduced on mine. Sometimes I'm feeling weak because I cannot make fast calculation or fast estimation because I base too much in the technology. On the other hand, I can do things fast and I can invest any brain that I have, for other things. So I think that we need to adapt, and AI, I think that it will make our job more efficient if we think correctly. It is like a 24/7 a smart guy next to us that we can discuss smartly. And this is, again, we are going to have a 1 hour about probing next time and how to make appropriate questions to any model that we are using. And also hearing something about the ex or the current CEO of Google. AI is one of the most important things humanity is working on. It is profound than electricity or fire. However, I will say later on that it has the same approach with fire. It's how are you going to use the fire in order to have a positive or negative results. I will come back to this. These are the instructors together with Samia. And before I start, my presentation, always I say to my student, in order to make a presentation, the people, they remember two things, stories and numbers. So I found out in this, the Chronicle of Higher Education, an international e-newspaper about higher education, about how AI has introduced within the US universities. I mean, probably it's a different system. I don't know. I'm not going to judge. Here is not, in order to judge things, but show some numbers. And people remember the numbers and, also show the tendencies. So in this kind of report, 1 to 4 faculty members use AI in their class preparation, in class activities or quizzes and other assessments. 1 to 4 faculty members within the US higher educational system. So this is a great number, and I'm pretty sure that if they are going to run in 2026, this is not going to be 1 to 4. It's going to be probably 4 to 4. And don't forget, for some reason, the people, we are feeling guilty when we are using AI, and this is not correct. This shows that we are not ready engaged with AI as far as the potential of this technology has gone. All right. So we should not feel guilty, as we are not feeling guilty to make calculations, in the calculator. All right. We need to, to use it in a critical, ethical ways we are going to discuss about. There are a lot of questions. I'm not going to ask you. I mean, this is an open question to have. I mean, if we are using AI, what is the role of the educator, of the faculty within the class? And I will say just very fast, I'm not going to ask any questions to you today. I mean, we are there in order to facilitate their knowledge. We are there in order to make critical questions to them, in order to digest what do they learn, whatever means they are following. So I think that we have a very critical role, even if the AI is going to be introduced into their life. That is already 100% of the students in America, they have registered that they are using AI. So I think our role as facilitators, I like to say, because a facilitator is a coach, is a lecturer, is like an assistant, is like, a family member within the classroom, will help and will discuss with them a lot of open questions and doubts that they have. Other kind of findings of this, article is like ChatGPT is an excellent, excellent tutor, an excellent assistant for the academics for various purposes, design assignments, align with set outcomes, tests, email addresses, personalized feedback, and etc. And also works as an inspirator. In my case, a lot of times I would like to do something. As I told you, I'm an old guy. I'm still using a piece of paper, actually a pencil. I like pencils in order to erase. I write what I would like to do. I design everything on the paper. I place it to the AI models. I state what I would like to do based on what I have copied in a piece of paper. And then I say, like, what is your opinion? And wow, this is a brainstorming for me. It makes my brain, lunatic, even though that I'm a quite lunatic person, makes my mind, to explode. Because sometimes, very close, we agree, but, it combines the thing in a way that I will say, wow, this is something I never thought. So it's not that create something. I don't agree people just to go directly to ask this question, to LLMS. Write down what you would like to do, place it and discuss. All right. Over there, you can see things that you agree, disagree, but in the majority of the cases, it's an inspirator. It's something that changes, it makes things that you never thought. Also, we can see here that AI creates more engaging activities in the classroom. So sometimes, a lot of times actually, if I'm running online courses with my student or blended intensive programs, or whenever we have virtual exchanges that we run through the impact, um, I'm placing what I would like, what are the learning outcomes of my activities, what I'm thinking as interactive things to do, but then I'm asking AI, and AI comes with suggestions. I mean, this is a nice interactivity exercise to do. Use this tool, or the other tool. Sometimes I'm informing what kind of tools I would like to use based on the learning outcomes that I would like to teach, and it creates a very interactive way, a lot of interactive actions. 1 to 5 faculty members have used AI in order to create writing assignments or grading rubrics, by assignment of the lecture interaction, the interactivity with the students, or whatever they would like to grade assignments. They are using rubrics, and you can place the rubrics in order to use the evaluation. This is particularly interesting if you run very big classrooms, in order to create, the rubric, place, the PDFs. I think that these are the tools that Elena later on will present. I'm not going to say the tools because this is part of the course that we are going to do, but this is something that is possible. I have seen it, in the US. I have seen it, I'm doing it. Of course, however, you need to reconfirm sometimes what is happening, because there is a danger. It's not everything nice. If AI is doing a mistake and student is right, you are losing your credentials. You are using the faith of the students to you. So always use AI as an extra labor, but you need to trust it, and also to have an initial, how can I say, point of view what is happening. 52% of the faculty members had used generative AI to enhance course materials. So, for example, to generate material or to enhance materials as the technology is involved. There are a lot of tools like Gamma. I will tell you the truth, because we have to say the truth. I had been assigned, I was a Fulbright scholar last semester in the US, and I had a course, Energy Systems. I know energy from the point of view of a physicist, since I'm a physicist, but this was a course for the engineers. So I created, using AI, some material on top of what I'm doing from the perspective of the engineers, and this helped me to interact in a language that they understand, with exams that they understand, or they are better understood to the engineers than to physicists. So it helped me a lot. It helped me a lot also to create assignments, to organize frequent multiple choice questions or whatever. Of course, always check it, because I have found out sometimes playing with Kahoot, for example, which is a tool with AI, the questions that they place is not correct, or the answers that they provide sometimes is not correct. So you need to check it, and this is the challenge. And the role of an academic using AI, at least at this moment, to check the answers before you present. And this will help you also as a facilitator, using the students, they are using AI to help them to develop the competencies on how to think and how to trust, this kind of tool. 11% of the faculty members have used AI to provide personalized feedback. 10% have used it for grading. Personalized feedback can be based on the chatbots. That is something that later on we are going to present. Am I right, Elena? During the course. And 7% of the probes in Claude, which is one of the LLMS model system, focus on grading issues. So you can see that this is something that happens and is developed. So based on this kind of report, I will say that the conclusion one is like, AI should serve as an additional labor force, as an additional secretary, as an additional tutor for the academics. All right. As I mentioned, probably they introduce something, a new terminology, and this actually reflects on how to use AI: co-intelligence, co-creation, co-development. And exactly, I would like to ask, without answering me, because it's like, this is what we are looking for in any collaboration. Am I right? Should not be AI. When we collaborate with someone, what we are looking for: co-development, co-creation, co-ownership. And this is something that, okay, now we have this digital kind of assistant, but we create this culture, even if we don't have it, how it is to co-share. And believe it or not, this kind of attitudes, they can be transferred, to any collaboration with humans that you are going to develop. Conclusion number 2, AI raises the bar, freeing professors, in order to do more constructive things. I mean, of course, tutoring and correcting, exercises of the students is something very important. If you are going to do it wrong, we are driving the people in the wrong direction. And this is our duty, to help people to facilitate their knowledge towards the correct. All right? But I think that, small things like answering some emails or create a chatbot in our course that is going to respond frequent questions that we are teaching. I'm teaching a course for 20 years, one of the course. So I know what are the frequent questions on this course in physics too. I create, a chatbot in order, the chatbot to answer, the questions of my students. Some of them, they are shy. Probably, I'm not the most polite person, to be honest. Sometimes I'm too Mediterranean and probably, they're afraid of me. I have a scary face as well. But, chatbot can create an interface between me and my students in order to answer questions and save sometimes from my time in the classroom in order to answer or trigger, more, let's say, questions or more thoughtful discussion. AI tools become a commonplace in course design. We have seen, the tendencies in the US. AI leads to breakdown in foundational relationships, eroding trust and authenticity as professors and students navigate their interaction. What I would like to say over there, whenever you are using AI, you need to inform them. You need to inform them that, these papers have been corrected with AI help. In this way, if a mistake or a doubt will happen, you are very transparent. All right. However, it's nice to check before you provide the results of the AI. All right. Another thing that I have heard during a seminars in the States is like AI will erase the threshold of evaluation. So if the students using AI, in my opinion, you should not be critical, but you can say to them, if you are using just AI and I cannot see the personality of Kostas, the opinion of Kostas, during the presentation, during the reflection, I will hire AI and I'm not going to hire you. All right. So they should understand that the threshold of passing now using AI has elevated. All right. So probably we should think what is the threshold of success in our courses if this is the case. Conclusion 5 is like, what is the purpose of an academic or even a university when potential AI can do everything? I'm a very fan of the universities. I think that the university will be there for the future because it's a great networking place. It's a place that the students, they come, they meet professors, they meet more mature, they meet expertise, they can exchange opinions. I think that the way that we teach should change. We should become a facilitator. And the role of the facilitator within the classroom, I think, aligns very well what are the challenges that the AI brings. I mean, and also, I would like to highlight, I think that I have highlighted this later on. AI is very crucial for the people that they are in the middle of the performance. The very good students, they don't need AI. They have the tendency, they know they can find themselves. The very weak students, they don't have the digital skills or the curiosity on how to use it. All right, so the middle group, they will use AI. They will use it constructively or destructively, depends on us. If we place, for example, a lot of deadlines, very strict deadlines, if we push them, in very hard questions and they don't have the time, we push them to use AI in a not such a good way. All right. So we need to think as an educator on how to use AI or tasks that AI is going to be used. The students, they will use AI anyhow. All right. In order to cultivate their critical thinking, to go and ask them the 5 hows, for example. If you go back to Italy, I can see Giancarlo is from Italy. The Italian universities have announced the oral examination is getting more and more popular in order to face AI. Probably, someone is going to ask, I have 400 students in the first year. I'm not going to do an oral examination. However, you can do frequent testing and AI can help you in order to assess very frequently, the various learning outcomes that your course proposes. So also the assessment should be changed. We cannot have the old way, one assessment at the end, but we need to break out in order to help the students to build this critical thinking on how to justify the results. And if there are some doubts, oral examination in a constructive way, I like to follow the 5 hows. 5 hows in order to understand, how the things work. And as I said, report to the students what we use. Conclusion 7, AI operates as a tutor for the students. I mean, we are not the most accessible people, particularly myself. I'm like an online teacher the last 3 years. I'm traveling a lot. I'm doing a lot of things online. The students cannot find me. This is not good for me. But creating the digital tools in order to keep the communication by suggesting them how to use this, my digital, let's say, assistant, I think that somehow keeps, the communication with them. Universities should organize professional development, and this is what we try to do. This is an experiment. I don't know if it's going to work or not. This depends on you, and we are going to appreciate your collaboration. I like, courses in order to exchange opinions on how to use AI and what kind of tools we need to use. And be transparent about AI use, especially as do not hesitate to say that we have used it in a very constructive way. So our approach is regarding this course after these numbers. Thinking with AI, teaching with AI tools for teaching. I will spend the first 3 hours about this, 3 or 4 hours. I will be the boring part of this course, but later on, I think Elena and Samia will take care and will take over of more, let's say, hands-on opportunities on how to use this AI. However, I totally believe in order to use these tools, you should know how to use them and how to think in order to be able to transfer. I'm not saying that I will say to you how to think and how to teach, but I will tell you my opinion, and I would appreciate to tell me your disagreement. So I have shown you, the Moodle platform. Everything will be placed over there. I will appreciate also some tasks, not to examine you, but also to give you some tasks that you can use with your colleagues or with your students are going to be uploaded on the Padlet. And also we're going to appreciate if we are going to use the Padlet. So now I need your opinion. We are going to the Mentimeter. So you need to go to the menti.com, write down this number 58796484. I should place here a QR, but we had a Chinese delegation in our university.
Maybe copy the link from the slide into the chat, Costas. This would be much faster.
Yeah, I mean, yes, but you need to use the Mentimeter. I will stop sharing my screen, and I would like to answer these 3 questions. What motivates the integration of AI into your teaching practices? Probably you will say nothing, bullshitting. I don't like it. What are your hesitations? How do you think your students are using AI? So let me stop sharing my screen. I think my colleague will help me in order, to transfer, this kind of
Can you
link.
copy the link from the slide and put it in the chat?
Excellent. So let me open and I will share my screen in order to have this Mentimeter. Let's see if the computer will like me. Usually it does not like me. So let me share my screen, the right screen, this one. Okay, so you can see over there, we're going to weight the screen, 1 to 7. We are how many? 108. So I need 106 people over there. Otherwise, you are passive like AI, all right? So try to engage in order to use, this construction. We can wait. I think that this is the most important thing. I have more transparency, more terminologies I can use later on. We have 1 hour, but the opinion of yours is very important. What motivates the integration of AI into your teaching practices? You can see on top of the screen, medi.com, and use the code 58796484. We can wait. So I can see 25 people, they have joined, 27. Come on, guys, come on. 29, 30, 31, 32. Come on, excellent, excellent. Let's move. Elena. Now I can see Elena Todisco. Who is Elena Todisco? She has contacted me regarding, I hope now that you have an access, Elena, to the Moodle. No response. Probably she does not have a, So we can see here, improve quality and save time. This is on agreement on the survey by Chronicle. Fresh ideas, correct. It's an inspirator. I'm telling you, it's an inspirator. However, if you have your own idea, all right. So AI, in order to work as a multiplier, as an assistant, you need your knowledge. The knowledge always will be, as I say to myself, as I say to my student, the biggest fortune that you have. All right. I can see the books that I have or the books in the library, and I wish, and I know what is success, to read these books and understand all these books. This is impossible, but no, what I would like to say, knowledge is our largest heritage. AI without knowledge is a suicide tool, all right? So you need to know the things that you are doing. 60 people, come on, what about the other 40? Are they shy? What is happening? I can see also our colleague from Fontis. What is the name? I'm forgetting names. Come on, Fontis colleague. What is it? Peter. Peter is with us. I like it. New things to have more free time, organize work in a fast way, professional commitment and curiosity, encourage students to do research. It will be certainly a motivation tool, practicing with AI, new things, be familiar with new educational tools. And I will say it's not only tools, it's pedagogies. Remember that we have to change assessment, we have to change the way that we teach, and virtual exchanges and coils. This is exactly what has taught me, the last 2 years, 3 years that I'm involved, how to become a more interactive lecturer. Because the key word is facilitation, all right? Saves time, more personalized learning, time saving, improve the content. Excellent. To improve my teaching, I will wait, a bit, 57 over 69. Come on. One more minute for the people to say their opinion. This is very important. I will share everything with you. I will place everything to the Moodle in order to share, this kind of activities, unlimited resources, correct? I mean, this is amazing what you can find. I followed a course from Elena during the summer, like it was like a discussion and also practicing. It blew my mind. Sometimes I want to stop to read about AI. It's not good, but also it's good because it gives you so many opportunities. Let's go to the next one. What are your hesitations using AI in teaching? This will help, the policies. I work for the last 2 years, 2 years and a half for the administration of the university. I would like to learn what are the hesitations. And I think Kostas Kontaxakis, if you are with us, this was like the main outcome of this first initiative within our university. Am I right, Kostas? I don't know, Kostas.
Yes,
But
he
Kostas,
said
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
Kostas is
you're
initiated.
right. Yes.
Yes, good, Kostas. Thank you. Thank you for this. And what I would like to say to you, go and interact and follow any seminars. Of course, depending on the time that happens from your university, say your opinion. This is what Kostas has done before, I think, less than a year
Yes.
before I moved to the States. Yes. Thank you, Kostas, for this. And I hope that we will continue this effort.
I hope so.
Let's see. All right. I fear plagiarism, of course. I mean, but what is happening, plagiarism? It's like, how do we assess the students within the face-to-face, within the assessment, within the examination room, wherever you go, in this side of the Atlantic or the other side of the Atlantic, they try to cheat, or they would like to perform more than, what do they know? This is like assessment method. We need to change the way that we think, not only as a humans, but as for educators, the way that we teach, the way that we assess, the way that we discuss with our students. This is the main thing that we need to follow. Authenticity of the information. Not everything AI produced can be, of course, definitely. And also I will say to you, is biased. It's biased by the data that we upload. It's biased by the people that they select the data that trains, the machine. All right. I mean, I think that this is what Elena has asked, or somewhere else in another seminar that I have followed. The same question, if you do the same question to the ChatGPT, to Claude, or to the other things, they're going to provide different kind of answers. We had the Chinese delegation just before half an hour here in HMU. They told us, we have our AI model. I have been, in October, we organized here in HMU an international week about academic libraries, and Humboldt University in Germany, a very historical university, they have developed their own LLM. I say, like, why are you doing this? I mean, are you feared about cybersecurity? They say, no. We would like to control the information, the correct information that our LLM provides. And this is kind of biased. I mean, from which point of view you are going to see. So you need the critical thinking in order to understand what is happening. All right, fear, plagiarism, I can see more privacy, usually around privacy. And I think that we are going to organize and we're going to invite other experts also through this course in asynchronous discussions that you can follow them in the YouTube channel about privacy, about ethics, and etc. within the framework of this course. Oh, I can see now, all right, the Ukrainian colleague that is writing, so please do not do this.
Don't worry, I'll fix it. I'll remove everything.
Please.
Yeah, clear all the points. That's fine.
All right. Yes. I mean, if you are going to use it directly to ChatGPT, of course, you are going to become lazy. You are going to stop thinking. As I said, have your own opinion and start the probing. We're going to speak about probing next time. So, and the final one is, how do you think your students are using AI? I think that this is something that is related with your fears, but it's nice to hear from you. And the thing is, like, we should not ask ourselves how the students are using, but why are you using AI, let's say, in a bad or in a good way? The most important question here is why, all right? In order to identify and try, as a professors, to moderate and facilitate and change our attitude. I mean, like our policies and strategies, not that. They create a lot of things. I have read, an article about the strict deadlines and how do we push our students. This, of course, they will lead the students, to the wrong direction, I would say. Excellent. Answer taking. Solve exercises. Cheating the exam with no mercy. I like to write them papers and assignments. Okay, let's wait, for few feedback here in order to jump again for the next, let's say, quarter to 20 minutes to my transparencies. Skip the use for generating nonsense, uncritical to save time. As a student, I often use AI as a helping method about understanding. This is very healthy way, I would say. And together with the book, together with the lectures, the AI, I think it's an excellent digital tutor. It works like an extra book, to be honest. However, I will show you, I hope, how can I say, a paradox. AI is providing what? A lot of quality, a lot of knowledge. The availability of knowledge, using AI is a huge amount. It's a huge amount. However, the reliability is changing. So the more that provides, the more the question is like, if this is reliable. Remember what happened with Wikipedia? When Wikipedia introduced, it was like a free knowledge, democratization of knowledge. This was what happened. Democratization of knowledge because it was available to everyone. However, a lot of questions if this is correct. So always the knowledge is there. Always the books are going to be there, digital or hard copy, for my age. But this is going to be the right combination. So let me stop sharing in order to go again to my transparencies. Share. Oh, Yanis Fendurakis, I like. Nice to meet you, man. So let me move on. Thank you very much. I will share with you this opinion on yours. So let's see, a little bit things about AI. It's like something that has been introduced by the defense ministry in the States in 1950s. It was starting with machine learning, deep learning, and then, neural networks, and then all these long learning models. In 1967, 1980s, you can see that this is something that has been introduced. 1997, I still remember, these IBMs about beating the deep blue, beating bits. This is a mistake by writing Garry Kasparov, and you can see how fast, then the things have been developed with the introduction 2023 of GPT-4 and now the GPT 5.1. There is however, as a physicist, I would like to keep, something from quantum mechanics. In quantum mechanics, we have the uncertainty principle. I think AI is like has developed this knowledge scarcity vs source reliability. So the more the democratization and the availability of the knowledge increases with AI, the reliability somehow is under doubt. And this is like how we need to develop the way of thinking, the way of teaching, like to create the critical thinking, the decision making, the justification of our students and ourselves. So AI is going to change our relationship with thinking. How do we use, how do we trust, how to justify? Little bit things about in this introduction about ethics and equity. I like to say that AI, as I mentioned in my introduction, is like fire. Fire brought, a lot of solutions to the people. We learn how to cook, we learn how to defend ourselves, how to process materials, but at the same time, we are doing wars in order to burn everything, all right? So it has the good and the bad phase. And this is exactly what AI it is. It's like, how are we going to use it in order to not demonize something, but, how to use it in a constructive or a destructive way. And this is what I mentioned. I would like to say to you that this week we started another course together with Impact and the Career Office in Hellenic Mediterranean University, the next step. So among the tendencies that the Global Economic Forum mentioned, it was the following. People, they stated, we are not afraid that the AI will replace our job. What do we afraid is someone that knows AI is going to replace us, all right? So this shows how important it is to teach these kind of skills within ourselves and within our students. So our aim is to use AI ethically and in a constructive way, and this is our tool. And I would like to say, AI, they say that it creates inequity. Of course, there are some countries with an excellent internet, with an excellent facilities. There are some universities that they invest a lot of money in order to retrain and upskill. They are professionals, they are academics, they are administrators, they are students. However, I will say it's like a tool of equity. And I will give you an example. Now we have AI tools or AI-assisted tools like Canva in order to create a poster. Before, I will say, I don't know, 10, 15 years, I can see my colleague Yanis Kaliakastos here, where we started, I don't know, in 2005, the intensive courses, in order to create a poster, we need to send it to his brother, am I live, Yanis, that he knew graphics, he knew Corel Draw. I mean, this creates, a lot of dependence, of course, to specializations that they have a work to do. However, now I can do a poster, like in seconds, because there are tools in order to use it, if I will say how to use it. This is a good perspective, and also, that probably, some professions, they need to change and they need to adapt to become more digital. However, for me as an end user, I can do a lot of things. I can do the minutes. I don't need, to have a secretary or to have an administrator in order to do the minutes of a meeting. All right. This provides me more tools in order to develop and learn. Increase the creativity. This is something that you mentioned, and the teachers, they have an essential role, as we mentioned. Students now. The students, 100% of them, they use AI. Oh, come on, my computer. Right. All right, 100% of them, they use AI. Do you know how many universities in the world, they have an AI policy? Kostas Kontaxakis, do you know? 20%.
No.
20%. The universities, I think that we are a very slow organizations, or we think too much. This is our role, to think, however, but our role is also to decide. Only 20% of the universities all over the world, they have an AI, let's say, policy on how to use it, AI, etc. We need to adapt on this in order to be able to teach our students. And then prompts and responses, critical role. This is going to be the topic of the next lecture. The quality of our initial question defines the quality and the credibility of what we will get. At the same time, in order to be able to aware and assess the answer, we need to know. Go to the back school. You need the books. You need the knowledge. You need the interaction. You need the collaboration with others. You need, international projects. All right. And try to understand whenever you have a doubt, how, and how, in order to be able to teach, and also to evaluate. And this is like the tendency in 2017. Our students were not going to be in live, I hope. The ability to guide and collaborate the AI skills. This is a new term, AI skills, all right, which is going to become very essential. These are some things about the definitions in the glossary. What is an artificial intelligence? What is a machine learning? What is a neural networks? I think I'm not going to spend my time over there. The transparencies are going to be available for you in order to, I mean, we're not going to become an expert, at least I'm not going to become an expert, but knowing, this terminology, I can understand a little bit, how this technology works, what is a large language models, and also how slow and, fast a model can be or how many specified. A little bit work about GPT, P coins for pre-trained transformers, the information that we place, what kind of answers or what kind of words or combination of the words they will follow. AI can amplify the bias. We mentioned this, through various reasons. For the pre-training, G stands for generative, since creates new sentences, new images, new ideas, based on the data that we have placed and how we have pre-trained them. Of course, you need to be careful about the the credibility of the responses, and the T coins for transformers. And this has to do with a parameter, which is an internal variable in a neural network. It is in any possible word with a weight or not weight next to it, which shows the possibility. For me, it comes from the quantum mechanics. So if you have a linear equation, you have different parameters and parameters that define your system, and you have a factor that shows the probability, this factor to appear. And also, because machines, they don't understand words, they understand numbers, the conversion of these to 0 and 1s. And in order to get an idea, now we have the platforms, Claude, ChatGPT, but we have specialized also models, slower and more focus defined for reading, writing, videos, images, and etc. All right. So depends on what are you going to use. Any application now is behind an LLM. And following the Apple Store, if you go to the ChatGPT, for example, store, you can find these more specialized tools that we are going to present in this course, that they are supported by a bigger LLM. And with this, I would like to thank you. I think it's time for me to finish. We said 1 hour. And this was like, in order to summarize, I would like to say that AI is changing the way of thinking, the way that we teach, the way that we assess. We're going to be more specific later on. I will say that it's a tool that is going to be with us. It's going to be an excellent assistant and inspirator, but keep on your mind that knowledge and expertise will stay there forever. And this will be our role within the classroom with our students in order to facilitate their knowledge. With this, I would like to thank you. And if there are any doubts, any questions, any different point of view, you can state them. Thank you. Here I can see Rafael, not Peter, Rafael. Ioannis Spendurakis, I hope.
As always. You meet
Yes,
many people,
Anastasia.
I know.
All right.
What do you do?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'm fine. So thank you. So the next thing that we're going to do, the next hour that we're going to place is going to be about teaching, probing, engineering, and let's see. I would like to thank you for your...
Right? Okay.
Yes, correct. I would like to thank you. Email me. We are going to place everything in the Padlet. And as I told you, this is a continuation of something that my colleague Kostas Kontaxakis started in our interview. And colleagues like Elena and Samia and others have inspired us in order to try to do this effort and check, how it will go. Thank you. Ευχαριστώ πολύ, from Greece.
Monday, and we will continue every week. We have a lot of actual practical information, tools to present. I'm especially thrilled to get to the vibe coding session with you at some point, because I started doing it with all of my students and colleagues and teachers. It's something that apparently everyone can do. So you will all have an experience vibe coding your own app, your own application with AI. We'll do a customized chatbots. We'll talk about prompting and application of various AI tools for different...
I think also, Elena, an exciting factor is now even the web browsers, that they integrate AI. I think that this is something that we should teach
Yeah, we
and
added it to the syllabus. Yeah, we constantly
discuss.
follow the news and add new tools every day with the links, with everything. So you'll be updated with the most recent information, the latest browsers, the latest agents, and things that you can do in your teaching practice. Because we are all educators here with our different ideas of how to apply these tools in our professional work. So thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you again next week. Thank you. Have a nice evening, morning, day.
The same time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.